At the Department of Veterans Affairs, we are attuned to veteran needs because so many of our employees are veterans and caregivers themselves, including those whose job is to protect veteran information. VA recently sat down with veterans and caregivers who are part of the VA workforce and whose mission is to keep veteran information confidential and secure. We asked them to share the impact of their work.
My name is Crystal Drakeford. I'm a Government Information Specialist with VA Privacy Service. I am the program lead for VA Privacy Communications and Outreach. My dad was a veteran and I was his caregiver. My dad was very friendly and will talk to any and everyone. And there was a time when he received a call from a caller claiming to be a member or representative from a veteran service organization. And luckily I was in the other room and I can hear the conversation, and I can hear my dad saying, "Oh yeah, you can do this for me," or "Sure, this is great," or "You can expedite my request." And it sounded great, it sounded believable, but immediately they transitioned to asking him for his personal information. So I intervened, Dad handed me the phone, I immediately hung up the phone, and I explained to him what this can potentially be, what the harm that this can cause him.
These VA employees face the same cyber safety challenges that you, your caregivers, and families face every day. They receive the same emails targeting the veteran community that are aimed to fleece your benefits, trick you into sharing personal, financial, and health information, and send misinformation to sway you to their way of thinking.
My name is Sylvia Zas. I work with the Veterans Benefits Administration, and I am a senior program analyst. So some of the cases that we've come across that where folks get exploited or really come from in different areas. First and foremost is trusting others to give your information. And if someone calls, let's say they're calling from the VA and saying that they need your information, some veterans actually believe, but VA doesn't send a text or an email requesting your information. And there's a lot of information that these veterans don't really know what VA actually does. So when someone sends a text or an email saying that from VBA or VA in general, these folks end up giving their information, which in turn causes them to get their benefits stolen.
My name is Keith Silva, and I am the Chief of Staff for Information Security and an Army vet of 25 years. I'd be remiss if I did not say go Army, beat Navy. Just most recently, within the last several months, we underwent a cybersecurity incident that impacted 76% of the nation's hospitals. And essentially what the adversary is trying to do is just exfiltrate personal health information, your social security number, your date of birth, anything that they can use to steal your identity.
My name is Kelly Field, and I am an information technology specialist within the Office of Information Security. One of my very good friends was called by somebody within the federal government and told that he owed a substantial amount of money. He was very young and he was scared because he had a security clearance, and now that he had left the military, losing your security clearance would mean losing everything for him. And part of having a security clearance is making sure that your credit is clean, paying your bills on time. And because he felt very intimidated and scared, he just paid the bill on the phone with whoever was calling him. And it was absolutely not the federal government calling him, asking him to pay this bill. And he didn't quite realize that until afterwards. And he was out, over $1,200, and it was definitely a hard lesson learned. But we do see that. We do see that within the federal government and the VA. People reaching out to you and asking you to pay money and intimidating you into paying whatever they're asking for.
As VA ambassadors for cybersecurity best practices, they have helpful cyber safety advice to share.
Yes, please be alert. Do not give your information out. If you do question anything, please call the VA, especially about your benefits.
And so if you receive a text message, an email, a phone call from somebody saying they're with the VA, just understand that the VA is never going to contact you that way and ask you to pay a bill or click on a link to pay an invoice. That's just not going to happen. And so if you ever receive anything like that, don't click on it, hang up the phone, don't respond to it.
I would suggest for veterans to stay informed as much as possible. Awareness is key. The more they know, the more they can be able to put that defense in place to better protect themselves, their loved ones, their friends, their family.
It's imperative that each of us is cyber smart and able to recognize various types of social engineering attacks. The advice that I would give veterans, families, caregivers, survivors, and veterans employees are always remain vigilant and presume bad actors are trying to access your data. Every individual is on the front line of protecting our network, both at work and at home. Maintain strong passwords, change them often, and be aware of suspicious emails. The adversary is always watching.
Cybersecurity is a team effort. Let's work together to secure our world.